All right, man. Right back here in that black court.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, man. You know, another wonderful you. Man, it's a beautiful day here in Charlotte today, too, man. So,
Yo, man, I had my coat on this morning and got hurt this afternoon.
It got a little warm out there, man. They say it's gonna get warmer in the next couple of days, man.
Oh yeah.
But then they said something about it like wintry mix. Man, I'm losing my confidence in the weatherman out here, man, because it snowed like 3 weekends in a row, man. They kind of missed it every time, so we don't know what's gonna happen on the weekend, man. But today was absolutely stunning.
I know, but before we get in there, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man.
Good to see you.
I'm doing delicious. I'm doing delicious. I ain't no front with you, dog.
Man, it's good to see you, man. Good to see you, LG. What up, LG?
What's up?
LG is not.
I
gotta watch what I say on this podcast.
Ain't no edit button on here.
Well, we gotta take that out, man.
Some of this joint might get out. Dog.
Can we take that out?
You gotta talk to the editor. I don't know what it is. Yo, man, you have a good week so far?
Yeah, it's a good week, man. A lot of busy legal work, of course, and moving forward with a lot of business ideas, man. And so it's been good, man. It's been good. Shout out to my boy Brandon Bellamy.
Shout out to B.
Up there in the stadium in Gaston
B
County.
Bellamy.
The Honey Hunters.
Yeah.
The Honey Hunters, boy. I don't know how B got away with calling the team the Honey Hunters, man.
All right, man, go ahead. Go ahead. Just go ahead, dog.
No, B, you know we just joking, but we not.
Man, listen, I've been waiting all week long, dog. Hey, man, you know, let's keep it 100, man. You look forward to Thursdays now when we get together once a week.
I'm going to tell you, man, I started counting the hours and minutes down. I started Wednesday, and I'll be like, boy, tomorrow I'll be over there with Jay Hill.
Man,
It's gonna
you know
be
what? I know what's funny now. Now I get used to, I'm preparing for you to call me sometime early in that day that we're going to podcast. And we start on the phone already. We're like, no. Let's wait. Save it for the pod.
Gotta save it. Yeah.
So, man, I've been waiting to talk about this for a couple of weeks, man. You done stalled me out on this one, though. But
Yeah, you know, man, I don't even know what. Usually we eat the vegetables first, then get to that dessert. I don't know what category this is in, but it's some crazy stuff. Man.
It is. What we got, man? What we got? You want me to lead it off?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah.
So, man, a lot of people don't know this, Ken. You know what? Crazy story. I'm sorry. I gotta get this off. So, Ken, a lot of people don't know that, you know, I was a magazine publisher for a few years. When I lived in Atlanta, I had a publication, and when I moved to Charlotte, I had a publication. However, have I ever told you how I met you?
No.
So I haven't. So check this out real quick. I'm coming out of my house one day. Get in the car.
When I was in your neighborhood. Man, they told me about this.
You were looking in the window when I came out there. No, I was coming out the house. I jumped in my car, and I was working with my dad at that time, and I had the publication. So I jumped in my car, and the radio happened to be on 92.7 here in Charlotte, North Carolina. At this time, this is back in 2009, maybe early in that year, and Warren Ballantine had a syndicated show that would come on. I jump in the car, and there's this dude talking all smooth and savory on the radio and cool and everything, and he started running down. He worked with Matthew Knowles, and he worked with all kind of Magic Johnson. I definitely heard that, and I was like, "Dang, what's this dude?" And so I didn't think much about it. Then Warren Ballantine said, well, Attorney Ken Harris, tell everybody, you know, where they can find you and everything. He said, sure thing, man. I'm right here at the North Carolina Music Factory, Charlotte, North Carolina. You want to give me a call? You can. My website is this, that, and the third. I was like, hold up, this dude in Charlotte? Man, I go back home, man. I Google you, get your number, call you, and say, hey, man, I wanted to interview you. And from that moment on, it's crazy how we've done so much over the last 10, 15 years.
You still call me after you Googled it?
But the reason I bring that story up is because Cardi B is up and it's stuck. Cardi B sued a blogger by the name of Tasha K. And Ken, there's so many layers to this story that I want to get into because I feel like I'm impacted personally by it. I'm now a longtime publicist, close to 10 years. I had a few publications, and there's been this thing in the blogosphere. The reason I got out of being in the media, as far as doing a publication, is because the takeover of blogs and social media has only made it worse. So let me tell you what happened. So Tasha K, who has 995,000 followers on YouTube, right? She has 305 followers on Instagram. 305,000 followers on Instagram. So about 2 years ago, a couple years ago, 2018, actually it was 2018, Tasha K went on this campaign where she was on her blog. And let me say this, Ken. You ever heard the term, the internet is undefeated? And that just means like whatever the internet wants to do, you can do it. So anyway, this young lady or this lady ran this campaign where she started saying that Cardi B was formerly a prostitute. She said that Cardi B had herpes. And when, you know this very well, and I've been around enough to know that when something happens, like, you say something about a celebrity or you're doing something, you'll get a cease and desist letter. Well, for a long time, Ken, bloggers and people who are quote unquote, in the media, they just disregard cease and desist. Like, all right, sue me, dog. You know what I mean? Like, I'll see you in court. Because normally no one ever takes it this far. Guess what? Cardi B said, I'm going to see you in court, and sued her in 2019. And I'll say this, man, and I want to get your thoughts on it. The judge awarded Cardi B $3.8 million as she won this case. Part of it, I know you can break it down, is punitive damages and things of that nature. Tasha K, I mean, she ain't that liquid that she could just handle that. Now, she was doing well. She had sponsors and everything. Like I said, she had, almost 1 million followers. You and I haven't talked about how you monetize on YouTube. Like, people making, I would just guesstimate she's making close to 6 figures a month with everything that she has going on, talking about Tasha K. But that is in no way, that doesn't mean that you can just shell out $4 million to for something that you're liable for. So I wanted to set the stage and talk about, that's what we're talking about tonight. But I want to see what you thought about this case a little bit before I jump into anything else.
Man, sometimes you get tricked, Jay. You get tricked. And what happened is that I think the folks who are broadcasting on the internet got tricked.
Why you say that?
Well, first of all, the foundations of the law suggest that the platforms by which this information gets out, they can't be sued.
Why can't they be? What do you mean they can't be sued?
There's legislation, federal legislation, that prevents them from being sued for the representations of the people that use those platforms. So Facebook, YouTube, people got tricked. They can't sue Facebook, they can't sue YouTube. I can say whatever I want. Then they got tricked again because nobody was getting sued.
That's right.
So that just emboldened people to say
that was the okie doke.
It was the okie doke.
Yeah.
Because somebody was going to be the first example.
Yeah.
And this is the first real example. And there are a couple of things that conspired here to create a bad situation here. First of all, you have a potential defendant that theoretically does have money.
Okay.
A lot of celebrities, when they're talking about whether or not they're going to pursue somebody legally, one of the first judgments their attorneys make is whether or not the person they're suing is liquid.
Yeah.
If their judgment proof is not worth time.
Yeah, well, like, why are you suing this person? This person don't have any money. What are you doing it for?
Wasting your time.
Okay.
So a lot of individuals who are putting this information out via the internet, they don't have money.
Yeah.
And attorneys will do an assets check or whatever, and they find out, so it's just not worth pursuing. But in this particular case, a fairly unique situation. You had a defendant who theoretically had some resources. So it made it worthwhile for Cardi B to pursue the litigation.
It's funny you say that because I've been looking at this case, or at least, over the past 2 weeks since this judgment came down, I saw someone say, was Tasha K targeted? Meaning, was she singled out because her platform was so big? There's, on YouTube, you can have 50,000. It's hard to build up a viewership on YouTube or subscribers on YouTube. So having almost I want to put that in perspective. Like most of the national publications, that used to print didn't print almost 1 million copies of the magazine.
Wow.
Like, so when you start talking about having that many people at your disposal, you're making some noise. Like people are hearing what you're saying. So the thing that's bothered me the most about this situation is that while doing the trial, Tasha K admitted that she made up some information and that basically she was lying. And what's crazy is that in court, during the trial, Cardi B had to go and get a herpes test.
Oh yeah.
To
smart move.
Absolutely
staggering move. She actually went and got an STD test. That's what I understand.
Yeah.
And it was negative.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the foundations, one of the big foundations of a libel or slander suit.
Mm-hmm.
The allegation has to be false.
Yes.
And so her attorney apparently advised her, I'm sure, to go do that. She did that, and so that allegation was false.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So then you go to whether or not the person actually had damage.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have such a broad platform as what you have with this defendant, you can make a very, very solid argument that Cardi B was damaged as a result of these allegations.
Well, I wanted to read something that Charlemagne said. Charlemagne from the Breakfast Club said after this case. He said, I think this is a landmark case and it should be changed. It should change how people move on these platforms. You can critique, you can have your opinion, but you can't lie and slander. Mm-hmm. And end quote. And I wanted to ask you the question, so help me understand what the law is as it relates to, defamation, slander, because I do have some, not experience, but I understand, things relative to sources and, retractions and things of that nature when you're in the media, what people are using the word allegedly a lot of times and how that's been a slippery slope. But I wanted to see what you thought about.
It's fairly simple. A statement that is published,
mm-hmm.
which means that you broadcast it to the community,
mm-hmm.
that is false,
mm-hmm.
that causes some type of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, Cardi B could establish each of those elements.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made this a good case to move forward. But there's really kind of a fourth category that we don't talk about, is that if you can prove that there's damage, you want to make sure you're able to get a recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the defendant, a defendant who can pay a judgment. A lot of this judgment here was punitive damages,
mm-hmm.
which was intended to do exactly what it sounds like, to punish a defendant for their actions.
Yeah.
And so it was just a perfect storm of statements that were not true, but they were provable untrue statements. And then you had a situation where you had a liquid defendant,
mm-hmm.
and then you had a defendant who could actually publish this information to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just one of those things where this was really, if you got a case for libel or slander, this would be the circumstance.
Well, Ken, people who have, of course, when you have established media outlets and things, you have general counsel that's on staff, you have several levels of editors that are there. Like when I used to work at a business newspaper in Atlanta, there was a managing editor, there was a staff editor. It was like 3 editors before the editor-in-chief. Why? Because you want to fact check so many things and make sure things are correct before they are published and go out. And of course, publications do retractions all the time. I'm talking about print publications. Even when you watch your nightly news, they may come on and say, hey, we reported a story last week or last night where we said this, but we'd like to make a retraction and this is what it is. But the problem I feel is that you have individuals who just want to get on the internet and start, whatever their aspirations for their their career are. They just start a podcast or they start any type of reporting or repost account or what have you, and there's no checks and balances as it relates to what they're reporting on or anything like that.
But I will say that a lot of the folks that are on the internet now are savvy about this issue, because listen to some of the podcasts now. Even the younger brothers or sisters out there who are doing podcasts, they will consciously say allegedly.
Yes.
And that's the thing. If you don't know it's true, then don't put it out there, because you can find yourself in a legal situation. I watch a lot of podcasts from younger individuals about whether it's music, entertainment, news, whatever. And a lot of them use the word allegedly a lot.
And it's easy to use. Just say the word.
Yeah.
And I think, it's funny you say that, because that's been a slippery slope. That's been something that people have used as a weapon. And what I mean by that, meet people who have YouTube channels, who have Instagram accounts or some type of social media account where they do celebrity gossip and things of that nature. They know that this is hurting a celebrity's brand. They know that this is impacting their brand, but they'll say allegedly. I can't prove this, but this is what I think. Or just, you can give your opinion on something.
Yeah.
But you can't make anything up.
Exactly. And that, gets you out of the situation. If you're not making a statement that is direct, then it's hard to argue that statement is false. So that's why you do say things are alleged, and stay out of that arena so you don't get into a situation. But I think what this does now, it sets a new plate.
Do you really?
And if you, and I'll tell you, that's a dangerous situation to be in, because it gets down to now the plaintiff's attorney exploring whether or not you have assets that they can go after.
Yeah.
Because you sat there and made a mistake in a podcast or, on Instagram or whatever, and said something about someone else that's not true. So it's not worth it, man. Like you say, just make sure that you always say that I don't know whether or not it's true or I heard or allegedly, and stay out of that arena, because now you can get popped for that.
Yeah. Now, if this was, and I know we want to wrap up on this, if we were talking about, hey, Cardi B was dating someone, or I have a source that's saying, or I'm hearing that she is allegedly, well, if you use the word allegedly, that changes everything. But there's a difference. Because it was her medical history, does that change anything? I know there's HIPAA
if you say someone's dating someone, you don't necessarily get to that third element, not necessarily, that they've been damaged because of the statement. But in this case, because the allegations were so horrific, you can actually suggest that it caused Cardi B economic damage. Yeah. And apparently that's what she was able to establish in her lawsuit.
Do you think this will be a case study for other attorneys as time goes on? I feel like we're living in the evolution of the internet, or social media, I should say. I remember when MySpace and Black Planet and all those things, even when Twitter first, was founded. I mean, man, there was some times you could almost see like life being taken on social media. Yeah. And now things have evolved enough where they care a lot about community. There's a lot of stuff that gets flagged now. What do you think? Do you think that this is going to be used a lot in the future against bloggers?
Only under circumstances where the potential defendant
has
resources.
Gotcha.
Perfect storm, but most cases aren't a perfect storm.
Okay, so the internet can keep internet.
Exactly. Well, no, because you always have that risk of being sued. Yeah. But, if you don't have much, it's going to be hard to find a lawyer willing to step out and spend all that time litigating a case to get to the end, and there's nothing there at the end of the rainbow. So,
Tasha K says she's blaming the corporate mass media machine for this, man. Yeah. What do you think? Is that a good?
Evidently, it's not a good word. It doesn't work to say that, because the court has spoken, the jury has spoken.
Man, so all right, anything else on Tasha K and Cardi B, man?
Nah, man, it's just a new era, man. Watch your mouth out there. That's all it is.
Watch your mouth. Listen, man, or at least use allegedly.
Yeah.
Just say allegedly.
Allegedly, that's a sweet word.
Say that
right there.
That's a sweet word.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, man, I just say let me ask you this: do they can garnish your wages and all that kind of stuff too if they want to get that money?
Certain states allow you to do that.
Okay,
yeah.
all right, all right. Well, all right, man. You want to talk about somebody, but I'm gonna rock with you. What we talking about next?
The second T?
The 3 T's tonight.
Yeah, we the 3 T's tonight. Now I got a question.
What's up, man?
And I know you didn't want to talk. I'm going to tell everybody out there, man. Jay ain't want to talk about it. I wanted to talk about this tonight. Because one of the worst conversations I've ever had with a family member, one of the most contentious conversations I've ever had with a family member occurred around my dinner table. I think it was last Thanksgiving.
What, if Michael Jackson hair was real?
Well, we did that too, and that led to a lot of arguments and fights. But this one right here, dog, I've never, and this is not the only one I'm talking about. This is the end of a series of conversations like this. And you may not have experienced this, but when your boy, Donald Trump,
You're going to say your boy a lot. Go ahead.
Try to throw that on you. Your boy Donald Trump first ran for president, right? I'm down in Texas.
Okay.
Maybe I'm in the wrong place to be a Democrat.
That's a good start.
I'm down in Texas. One of my relatives, I won't say my cousin's name.
Your cousin?
My cousin.
Male or female?
His name.
His name. I'm sorry.
So he's over at the house. And, he comes in, got his chest poked down there. Well, I'm voting for Trump.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, everybody got their own, we have our own opinion who we going to vote for.
Yeah.
I'm voting for Trump. And, that's, man, who did Trump beat? I can't remember. That's how bad it was.
He beat everybody.
No, I'm talking about that first time around. Who did Trump win against?
What do you mean? Like
for the president the first time?
Hillary.
Oh, yeah. He beat Hillary. He's only won once. Anyway. But
I thought you were talking about the primaries. I was like, he beat everybody.
No. So he said he's going for Trump instead of Hillary. And, there's this thing inside of me, throughout history in my family, it's Democrats.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just telling you what it is.
What it has been.
So he starts this dialogue about the Trump's book and why he's going to be good for the economy.
The Art of the Deal.
Art of the Deal.
Yeah, I read that book.
Good for that. He knows money and that he's going to be good for us. And, I'm going to be real. I asked a question. I said, well, I really want to know what he's going to do for black folk.
Yeah.
I get the Art of the Deal and all that. But what he's going to, man.
The Apprentice.
What? Man, when I tell you that dude went off, and I've had so many discussions with people in our community, African Americans, who supported Trump and are really aggressive. Yeah. When you start having a discussion about Trump, it's like you saying something about a family member or something, man. Yeah. I don't know if you've experienced this, but I'm just wondering where people are. It's like I don't hear from those folks anymore. Yeah. So what happened? I mean, are they still down for Trump, or they're not down for him, or did Trump run game, or I just thought, man, maybe we just take a few minutes to figure out where did they go? Where did they go, and where are we concerning Trump? What happened? Because they weren't playing. I mean, they were very aggressive about supporting Donald Trump. Where are they at now? I'm asking.
Just the black folk, or everyone?
I'm starting with the black folk. That were, you couldn't even get a word in when you had a discussion about Donald Trump around the dinner table.
They have transitioned into becoming the anti-Biden, or see Biden is messing up here, or he can mess up too, or look at Biden. They're not of course as loud, and maybe it's because they don't have a lot to talk about, or they understand some things that have gone wrong as it relates to Trump, or they understand what it is. But that's what I've noticed, that all of those folks feel like, hey, you guys were ragging on us, number one, telling us to vote, number two, telling us to vote for Biden and pressuring us to do that. And look, here's your boy Biden doing things, or things that we don't like as far as, his policies or things he messes up on. And what I've stayed out of it, number one, because I'm okay with there being a semblance of calm, a semblance of just what normalcy as it relates to politics. I think, in my opinion, it's ignorant to now start to say, well, hey, well, look at Biden. He, I got a clip of him 30 years ago saying this, that, and the third. Listen, I don't think any black person, well, most black people don't think that anyone that's in politics has, are free from any discretion or hasn't said or done anything that's wrong. The fact of the matter is that, and we probably get into it just a minute about some of the things that are coming out as far as Trump's administration. It's just the fact that the things that we went through for those 4 years was just insane when you really think about it.
Man, insanity.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, man, some of those same folks in some of those same conversations, and they be sitting there telling me, well, Obama didn't do nothing for us.
Man.
I'm like, wait a minute, dog.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm not trying to divert the conversation, but I'm going to tell you what, man. First of all, if President Obama didn't do anything but serve his 2 terms with dignity and class, that's good enough because he was the first African-American president. But I don't know how anybody who's black, who has health care under the Affordable Care Act, under Obamacare, is going to sit here and say President Obama never did anything for the black community. The black community has been one of the primary beneficiaries of Obamacare. Okay? So, but you can't, you try to bring that up in the conversation. You try to bring up that President Biden, if he doesn't do anything more than he got Kamala Harris, who's black, as a vice president, that's a great start. You can't bring that up, man. They will jump on you like you, stole a birthday cake at a birthday party. Yeah. It's really incredible. That's why I'm like you. I've stopped having the conversation because you can't even have a regular conversation about these issues, man. It's incredible.
Well, I think what the former President Trump did is he distorted what we were used to seeing from a president. That was distorted so significantly that we're just having as we recorrect, or is that right? As you correct or autocorrect, it's like we're having a hard time even looking at the presidency in the way in which we used to. Yeah. And then the other thing is this, man, I just feel like, because President Trump was so indignant, he was so bold in his approach to doing things, whether someone feels they were right or wrong, he just did what he wanted to do. People feel that is what Obama should have done, and they feel that is what Biden should be doing. Like that, and that's what I mean by it's distorted. Everything that we used to look at is what the presidency meant, and how a president should conduct themselves.
Man, you talk about distortions, right? So, I want all of the folks out here who watch us to check out this Ukraine situation. Now, I remember, maybe I'm crazy, man, but I remember Trump chilling with Putin.
Dog.
I mean, straight chilling.
Super chilling.
Putin.
Yeah.
I remember Trump going after China, right? So I'm kind of sitting here now saying Putin is like emboldened, and he's getting ready to, hopefully he doesn't do it, but he may invade the Ukraine. He's over there at the Olympics chilling with the folks in China because we messed around and now we don't have a relationship with China. So, it's kind of interesting to me. All that started under Trump. And so, but like nobody's willing, I never hear anybody say that. Like Putin is rolling right now. He's bold. He feels like he's run game. So now he can do things like invade Ukraine. That started under Donald Trump. But you can't say that. Like it's like this.
Oh, you can say it, but
weird world where somebody's gonna say Biden did this.
Yeah.
Biden hadn't been chilling with Putin. Biden hadn't been pumping up Putin or letting Putin say or do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So it's really this weird thing where I think what we're going to find over time is that we're going to be left with the vicious residue of the Trump presidency in a lot of different ways, whether it relates to our relationship with China, NATO. Do you know how Biden is struggling to make sure that NATO stays together so that we can have somehow a way to defend ourselves as a community with the Europeans against the Russian aggression? But he's struggling to do it because, Trump was like, man, forget Germany, France, and everybody else.
That must say forget NATO.
Yeah. So it's really strange, man. You get into how do you say forget NATO? I'm tired, man. I ain't
Fuck NATO, dog. I don't need NATO, man. I don't need NATO.
I ain't doing nothing with NATO.
I'm tired of bowing down to NATO, dog.
Tupac had a song, man. Tupac had a song called "Me Against the World." And that was Donald Trump right there. It's just me against the world.
Man, let me tell you something, man. They said Trump was flushing documents down the toilet at the White House, man. Allegedly. CNN report, hold on, let me read this right quick. CNN, the National Archives asked the Justice Department to investigate Trump's handling of presidential records, all of which should have been turned over when his administration ended. The request followed multiple reports that Trump tore up documents and that archive staff had to take back together some that were handed over to the House committee. Dog.
Man.
Listen, man, your boy is wild, man. These are reports are coming out that allegedly former President Trump was tearing up documents and flushing them down the toilet, and it clogged up the pipes at the White House, dog.
Man, it's straight thug, man.
But I wanted to say this too, man. As far as his administration, think about it. We are 13 months removed from him being in office, right? And we're just hearing about certain things as it relates to what they said. He took allegedly, this might not be allegedly, that he took 15 boxes from the White House. And so I didn't know this. So basically, after every administration, every note, every document, everything that happened during administration, they want to hold on to, and then 12 years later, they might use it in libraries and things of that nature. But it just took 15
Yo, man,
boxes.
put them boxes in the SUV, man. We got to roll, man. Let's roll, man. Y'all taking too long, man. Let's roll. That's how he was doing, man. That's incredible, man.
That is incredible. Yeah. And Ken, what I'm saying to you, I want to
highlight. He wasn't even using a shredder.
He just like...
Man, incredible, man.
And we got used to that, Ken. That's my point. Is that people got used to that behavior, and because we're not seeing that behavior in Biden, something's wrong with President Biden.
Man, look, when that guy, and not being disrespectful to a president, but when Donald Trump got on that bus and said what he said to that dude at the very beginning about women, I mean, we knew then. My man had thug in him, you know what I'm saying? But regardless of that, people just ignored it and just rolled with Donald Trump. And so he felt emboldened to do the next thing that was off the charts and the next thing. Yeah. And it's continued all the way up until today, man.
But Ken, I think this is, and I've been thinking about this for a while, and I think we're going to have to find a way to overcorrect. That was what I was trying to think about early. Like, we're going to have to find a way to correct this. We have two major parties in the United States of America. Yeah. And people are acting, no disrespect, to any sets out there, but people are treating the Democratic and Republican Party as like gangs. Like I don't care what happens. I don't care what you say. I don't care what's right or wrong. I'm repping my side.
That's what the world is exploiting now.
Yes.
And that's what Putin set up.
And it didn't used to be like that again.
Yeah, he set it up because he wanted, it to be one of those situations where it's American versus American instead of Americans united versus everyone else. And that's exactly what happened, man. Very, very interesting. And it's sad because there's no spirit of America many times.
Yeah.
Like I don't hear people like who are Republicans talking about Biden like he's the American president.
Yeah.
And this guy is an older gentleman. He's a beloved figure.
He is old though.
Hey man, dude, Biden was not about 172, 173 years old. But Biden is one of these guys who has committed his life to America.
Yeah.
It seemed like somewhere on the other side of the aisle, there would be some reverence for what he's done. Kind of like the way I feel about John McCain. It's like, yeah, you know, John McCain was a strong, staunch Republican, but I respected and loved and admired him for the fact that he was an American.
Listen, Ken, before 2016, before 2008, Democrats and Republicans, not to say that they don't get along now or they don't spend time together now, but back then it was like, okay, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, and I have a certain philosophy on how I believe the country should be ran. But I wasn't just going to go for anything, and just because the president is a particular, in a particular party, that I'm just going to ride for him no matter what. Like, there was an insurrection that happened in the United States of America. And people are defending it. Yeah. People are acting like they didn't see it. That is the most incredible thing, that we're seeing stuff with our eyes for 4 years. Yeah. And people are like, no, that didn't happen, dog. I don't know what you're talking. You know, like, wouldn't me. Wouldn't me, dog.
Wouldn't me, you know.
That's incredible.
It is incredible, man. I hope that it changes and we get back to a situation where it's about being American, man. And see, that makes us stronger against the rest of the world.
Yeah.
If we're united here at home, and but I think that the world knows that we're divided now.
And I hope we do something about it quick. I hope we do something about it quick before it's exploited in a way that really harms us.
I think that's what Putin is, a smart brother, man. That's what he knows what's going on. I'm gonna tell you what, man. I know we got to move on to the next segment. I'm gonna tell you, man.
He uses his powers for evil, man.
Yeah, man, for real, man. I do one day, man. You know, we talk about togetherness. I do want to get to one day. We'll get to Jesse Jackson and Obama, because I still remember Jesse Jackson.
Ken will turn this into the Bruce Spears podcast.
Boy, we gonna walk across this bridge together, baby.
What's the Edmund Pettus Bridge?
Together. Yes, sir, man.
We're gonna do a live podcast on the Edmund Pettus Bridge.
That's what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna do it, man. It's gonna be warm out there, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Man, speaking about togetherness, man.
Okay, man. Oh, snap. Okay. What you got?
Man, Ben Simmons wasn't no, man. I don't get it, man.
You get what? What are you talking about?
All right. We got Philly.
Okay.
All respect to my man Kevin Hart out there. Philadelphia 76ers. And Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid together? Do you know what that was supposed to have been, dog?
Ben can't shoot, bro.
I get it, man. But
he can hoop, but he can't shoot.
Man,
and the dude ain't played all year. So for everyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, right. Ken is so upset that he won't set this up. What's my man name? James Harden, prolific scorer, now formerly with the Brooklyn Nets, has been traded as of today to the Philadelphia 76ers for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, and Andre Drummond.
And Andre Drummond?
Yeah, Mr. Drummond. From Different Strokes.
Who did they get from Brooklyn? Just James Harden?
Yeah. What you mean?
Man, what were they? What? Come on, dog.
Dog, what are you talking about? First of all,
Andre Drummond is a monster.
No, he's not. But go ahead.
Okay, man. All right, man.
He is a monster, but not the way you're describing him.
Seth Curry is
can shoot.
It can shoot.
Ben Simmons can't shoot.
But when you add Ben Simmons, man, you said, I know you didn't say. Man, we getting ready to shut the podcast. I know you did. I need to look some stuff. I know you didn't say for James Harden.
Ken, you act like I said Tanya Harden. James Harden, what are you talking about?
Man, that was the worst trade in the history
Stop.
of basketball.
Ken, you know what? I don't know why.
Do you know what Ben Simmons is?
Ben Simmons has not played all season.
Evidently, Kevin Durant must not still be.
Now, okay, all right, okay.
He must not be because if you're gonna give somebody Jay, I'm saying this. If you're gonna give somebody the NBA title, just say the whole goal of this trade was to give Brooklyn the title. That's what we did.
Give Brooklyn or Philly?
Brooklyn.
So you think okay?
You took Simmons, Seth Curry, and Drummond, who you don't believe in, and now you're telling me they're on the Brooklyn Nets.
I am. So all right. So there's two parts.
They need to prohibit alcohol in the front offices of NBA teams. Man, it's ridiculous. Man.
All right. So let's kind of go through it. All right. So first, we're gonna come back to your boy James Harden. Let's start with Philly. Ben Simmons, who can't shoot, but is a very good all around player. He's really good at assists. I think he averaged maybe like 6 or 7 assists. Maybe I have to look that up. He averages like 2 or 3 steals a game. He can rebound well. Great defender. Great ball handler. He just has a little bit of a problem shooting, the outside, Jay. That's his issue. And then he had a little bit of a meltdown in the playoffs last year where he didn't want to shoot because he didn't want to get fouled. And so there was a big game where they got beat. And he had a wide open dunk. He was right under the basket, and he played hot potato and just threw the ball to somebody in the corner. And so then after the game, Doc Rivers, who is the coach of the Philadelphia 76ers, was asked, I don't know if he asked him something about, Ben Simmons. Oh, he said, do you feel like you can win a title with Ben Simmons? And Doc said something like, I don't know, dog. He said, I don't know. I got to think about it.
It's not Blake's fault. It's not Blake's fault. Don't blame Blake.
So he said that, right after a game, he all heated and upset that they lost or whatever. And then Joel Embiid was talking slick and said something about we got to take open shots when we have them. So Ben Simmons, quote unquote, got in his feelings because of their commentary after the game or what they said about him. And because of that, he pitched a fit. And shout out to my guy, Rich Paul, his agent, and he said, I ain't playing for y'all no more, dog. I'm not playing up there. And he has been I think he's been fined like almost $20 million this season. He has not played one game. It's been 56 games and he has not played. And because of that, they traded him.
Man, let me ask y'all something. Is Kyrie still with Brooklyn?
Listen, now
I'm just asking a question. Is Kyrie still with Brooklyn?
Okay, again.
How you gonna give Ben Simmons?
Hold on. Okay, I feel you. Let's get all these parameters out, or get these details out.
Get parameters out.
Kyrie is not playing all of the games because he doesn't want to get.
He don't have to now, does he? He's chilling. He playing third of the games. They're gonna win.
Kyrie has been playing. Oh, he didn't. Matter of fact, he didn't.
Only home games or something.
Only home games. He only played about 20 home games. He didn't play the first 20 or 30 that was or whatever was in the season. I guess the first 10, 15. Away games. He's only playing away games. Then Kevin Durant got hurt, and he's been out for he's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. So Brooklyn got their own thing going on. And so it's like, hey, I have a problem over here in Philly. You got a problem over there in Brooklyn. How about I'd rather have your problem than having my problem? They say, you know what? You're right. I want your problem. And that's how we got here. And now you still mad.
I'm still mad. Okay. Because I'm hoping when we leave here tonight, I'll go look the trade up, and there's some other players with James Harden coming from Brooklyn.
But it's not. I just gave you the trade, bro.
All right, man. Look,
might be some cash or something.
I don't get it. James Harden at one time was probably my second favorite player. I made some mistakes in the past
when he was in Houston.
Yeah.
Because
my two favorite players have been Westbrook, as LG knows.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna
it's ugly right now.
Yeah.
And Harden.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a big Harden fan.
Yeah.
But Harden ain't Harden no more.
Yeah, Harden looking out of shape. Harden, but the thing, Harden pouts a lot, and that's what I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna get on him in a minute. I'm gonna let you cook for a minute, but go ahead. I got something to say about James Harden. So I understand the trade.
I get it, but when he get down here to Philly, That's Joel Embiid's team, man.
Joel is having an MVP caliber.
He ain't gonna have none of that nonsense, man, and
What
all
nonsense?
that. I mean, you just got to go down there and play ball. No ball hogging, no none of that, man. But we here to win games, and see the problem is they're winning already without Ben Simmons.
That's right.
So now I'm on the chemistry tip. Is James Harden consistent?
James Harden has. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean, go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say James Harden. This is the problem. Here's what I think is happening. James Harden. Let me set this up. So James Harden left OKC. Let's go back to the beginning. He was playing with Russell Westbrook.
Right.
Young. They were the baby Thunder. Yeah. It was Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and James Harden. They got beat in the finals by my guy LeBron James when he was with the Miami Heat. He leaves Oklahoma City because at that time he was coming off the bench. He hadn't bloomed and blossomed into the star that he is today. Yeah. He goes to Houston. Now let's talk about the people he played with in Houston. He played with Dwight Howard in Houston. He didn't like Dwight. He got Dwight up out of there. So they bring in Chris Paul. Him and Chris Paul played together for 2 years. James Harden pitches a fit. He don't like how Chris Paul acting and how domineering he is. He got him sent out of there. Then he go get his boy Russell Westbrook. He played with him for one season. He got him out of there. But then next thing you know, he pitched another fit the following season, and then he cry and he eat his way and gain about 20 more pounds. And now they ship him off. He gets traded because he wanted to the Brooklyn Nets. Now let's talk about who he plays with the Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie Irving and KD, Kevin Durant. Now, dog, I don't know what he's looking for outside of that.
That's what I'm telling you.
So now he pitches a fit again. A report came out, Woj, Adrian Wojnarowski, I think is how you pronounce his name. Wojnarowski reports from ESPN that James didn't want to he didn't want to be too public or too formal with his request that he wanted a trade because he didn't want the backlash from fans. Because everybody knows that every time James Harden gets upset or whatever, he wants to go to another situation. And I remember, and I will say this, and I'm come down off my soapbox. I remember the days when you, and shout out to my man Mike Lee and LG, y'all used to talk about LeBron. Hey man, y'all nobody want to hear all that crying, dog. You can't be running, you know what I'm saying, ring chasing and all this kind of stuff, man. You got to stand in the fire. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Y'all talking about, God rest his soul, Kobe talking about, he can't go to China. Chinese people, they only respect winners. You got to win rings to sell shoes over there. I remember all of that. And James don't want to face the fire. Yeah. He always flakes out in the finals, man, or when the Eastern Western Conference Finals, semifinals, whatever. Yeah. So that's my point about James. James, I can't believe he would want to leave that situation.
Man, that's what I'm telling you.
Now, they only played 16 games together.
I can't believe Philly would want to take on that situation, man.
Ben Simmons is not playing.
I get it, man. I get it.
They thugged it out for a whole half a season, dog. Yeah. It's February. It's about to be the All-Star.
And Ballin thugging it out.
Yeah.
And so I'm just saying, man.
They can't. But James Harden, though. James Harden.
It's going to be ugly, man. It's going to be ugly, man. And then it take one time. Embiid ain't having that stuff, man. Embiid ain't having it.
Embiid ain't.
But they gave Ben Simmons. Okay, so I'm going to make my prediction now.
I don't know what's wrong with James Harden. That's all he's going to say.
No, he's going to smack him, man. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this right now. So it's over, man.
What's over?
Y'all underestimate Ben Simmons, man. Brooklyn is by far and away now the best team in the NBA.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I got you.
They're not when Durant comes back.
Yeah.
How do you do that, man? Can you imagine? Ben Simmons to me.
They were already that, though, Ken.
That's what I'm telling you. Ben Simmons to me is like a bigger Magic Johnson without the ability to shoot.
You're right.
So now he don't have to shoot.
No. He don't
have to shoot. He can be Ben Simmons now.
Kyrie.
The whole time he been Clark Kenting it. Now he gonna walk up there and take his stuff off, and he can be Superman because he can go up and down the court, block shots, pass it, do his Magic Johnson impression. No pressure to score.
And I'm gonna jump in on this and say this. Yeah. The biggest thing is, when he was in Philly, they could play off of him. and dare him to shoot. You can't do that in with Brooklyn because KD can shoot, Kyrie can shoot, and they're gonna have Steph there. Steph can shoot. And you got to double somebody. You got to do something about somebody.
It's ugly, man. This falls in the category of one of those trades where it feels like somebody gave up too much and created a monster.
But people,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what happened with Miami. When you get LeBron and your boy D Wade and what's name on the same team, it's like, doggone, what y'all doing, man? That's why they kept Chris Paul from going to the Lakers.
Yeah.
At some point you give too much to one team, man. That's what they just did. Man.
But people, what's funny is that some people feel the opposite. Some people feel that this, because of what you're saying about Ben Simmons, they felt like this. Well, maybe this is why they feel this way. They feel like this is one of the worst trades. Daryl Morey, I think is his name, the GM of the Philadelphia 76ers. Like, this is, Stephen A. said, this is the worst mistake of his career by trading away Ben Simmons. Not because he doesn't think Ben Simmons is good, not that he's a bad player. He feels like Ben Simmons, to your point, is that good of a player. But I'm saying, what is he to do? Ben Simmons doesn't want to play. Said he's never playing for the 76ers again. Dog, we living in a time where it's so easy for an NBA player to say, man, I'm tired of being here. I want to be traded. And you don't have anything you can do about it.
No, I get it, man. But I'm just saying, man, pick another destination.
Oh, you like go somewhere else with it.
Send him somewhere else, man. Don't just give away the NBA title. I just don't know now if Kevin Durant gets healthy how anybody can beat them, including teams like Golden State or Milwaukee. There's just too much talent, and then the pieces fit.
To me,
that's what's scary about this, is that, you know, it's one thing to have a lot of talent. It's another thing when the pieces fit together and you have a lot of talent. And that's what Brooklyn has now. It's going to be stupid.
Man, I think this ain't going to do nothing.
Yeah. That's
I'm saying Brooklyn.
That's like
Brooklyn
giving the Dallas Cowboys an offensive and defensive line, man. That's like somebody saying that we're going to give the best offensive line to the Cowboys with all the rest of the talent they got. Dog.
Like we was talking about. So, Brooklyn. Listen, I believe that they're not going to do much. I don't know. This is a scary year. If Ben comes back and he's in the semblance of what he was, KD comes back healthy. And another thing, if the NYC, the New York mandates, not the New York City, but I think it might be New York City mandates. There's the mask mandate up there. I'm not sure if that's on the local level, state level, or what. But if that happens and they end that, then Kyrie gets to play home and away games. And now we got an issue. I feel you. That's a tough squad to deal with.
That's ugly, man. So, I'm gonna enjoy the season now because I'm saying right up front now, I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan.
What you saying?
I'm picking Brooklyn to win it all now.
No.
Easily. I'm talking about sweeping some folks.
If they're healthy.
If Durant gets back.
So if Durant,
and I'm also gonna tell y'all heard Jay put down your boy Drummond, the monster. Watch out for that monster on that court as this thing progresses. That boy is a monster physically.
He's not.
Y'all be ready for that. You remember how Mike Irvin said, get your Super Bowl tickets early for the Cowboys? Brooklyn Nets fans, go get them NBA championship tickets right now, dog. Like them things in, baby.
The mothers ain't gonna do nothing.
All right, we're gonna see what happens.
And the only reason is because they never stay healthy.
Right.
I think the Suns might pull it out this year.
Man, and if anybody out there posts something about the Lakers, the Slakers, the Fakers.
Oh my God.
Please don't put nothing. The Lakers they're close to the worst team in the NBA right now, from my perspective, man.
Sad,
terrible,
too, man. Terrible. And it's so funny how it's year to year, man. You couldn't have told me 2 years ago or last season that it would be this bad.
Man, it's ugly, right? It's ugly, man. Well, all right, man. We getting toward the end of it, Jay. Got Valentine's coming up, man. I know you.
Yeah, what you doing, man?
Huh, for Valentine's?
Yeah, what y'all going?
Yeah,
I know you gonna pop bands next Tuesday, boy.
No, man, I'm gonna get.
Well,
I gotta get out of this cycle, man. Huh? Like, I don't know why I always go get the same chocolate strawberries, man. I gotta get creative this year, man. I'm gonna get something for my baby. It's just, she deserves something special, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's man, it's got to be different, man. You can't just buy something. You got to do something,
you talk to yourself. You
I'm trying to pump myself up, man. The pandemic is ending. Y'all get out here, man. Don't use pandemic as an excuse for Valentine, man.
But it's
Hey,
so
man, we can't
easy.
go nowhere. You gotta wear masks everywhere you go. No, get your girl out, man. Take her to the movies or something, man.
Man, them joints be coming up too quick though, man.
I know,
We
man.
be like Christmas, Valentine's
Maybe
Day,
Christmas was just here.
Mother's Day,
That's what'll get you there.
anniversary. Like, God, dog, didn't we just celebrate something?
That's
man?
what gets you that same. That's what gets you to that same old box of candy that you
You be
always
like, I
get.
know
Think
you like-
different this year, man.
I know you like this.
Yeah.
I know you like this.
Think some flour. Hey man, how many dudes you see in Harris Teeter or Food Line Valentine's Night picking up flowers, man? That's what. Hey, look, if you do that, you are the pits, man.
Come on, man.
Food Line.
Don't talk about me like
Yeah,
that.
Food Line.
Don't talk about me like that, dog.
It's 6:30 on the 14th, and you in Food Line buying the flowers.
you
You know you done fell off, man.
Nah, you gotta get up at 7:30 in the morning. Go to Harris. You can't. If you wait for after work, you get slim pickings.
I done been there, man. I was like, man.
Them joints with the
Yeah.
the little brown crispy joints on the peppers. You can't wait. You gotta go early in the morning. Dog.
Sometimes, you might try to buy something, that's got the little thing with the water in it. Try to get creative. The bottom line is, man, do it early this year, man. Go out there and be creative, man. Your girl deserves it. I'm going to do something special for Felicia this year. I don't know what it is, man.
Today is the 10th of February.
Hey, 10, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I got
Some
a day
people
or
say
two
we
to
already
figure
late,
this
dog.
thing out. Yeah.
I'm
No, we're
sorry,
going to get it,
man.
man.
I'm
Do
sorry.
something special for your girl this year. She deserves it, man.
Yeah.
All right, man, Jay, that's
That's
it,
it.
man. We're going to wind it up, man. Great
Nah, hold
conversation,
up, man.
man.
You think I'm gonna let you get off, without making a prediction?
Oh, what's
Super Bowl this Sunday, bro. What we doing?
I already told you. I told you at the
I
beginning
need
of
it
the
on
playoffs.
record.
I said the Rams were going to win it.
I don't remember that, but go ahead.
Guess what? I put it on our communication.
Our communication.
Yeah, what you call it? Our text message board. I said the Rams will win the Super Bowl.
Man,
Let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you how I did it.
You go to bed with your briefcase and shoes on. Dog. That
I'll
was
tell you,
lawyer speak. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
LG posted right after I put it up that they got to get past the Packers first.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, nah. I said, I ain't worried about no Packers. Now, I didn't know the Packers going to get beat.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't worried about it. Now, I've been picking the Rams from the very beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think the Rams are going to win as well.
Yeah.
I think Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals had a heck of a
They did.
playoff run. You know what I mean? But
Miracle.
Listen, boy,
Yeah, they the miracle team. Right
but
there.
man, Aaron Donald looked like you know how
Hungry.
that boy licking his chops. he might hurt somebody. He might kill somebody out there.
Yeah, he's gonna be going for it. Now OBJ,
OBJ.
he want to get it. He gonna have to get his shine on.
Yeah, I think he understands the moment. I think all of them, Matthew Stafford,
Got
they
something
all
to
got
prove.
that thing.
Yeah.
All of them need to prove something.
Yeah.
You know what? That's my first time thinking about it like that.
But I'm gonna tell you one thing, man. I'm not that hyped about. I know other people probably feel this way too. I'm not that hyped because you don't have that marquee team, like Tampa Bay or the Packers, or the Cowboys. You don't have that marquee, glamour team in it. So I'm not as hyped as I usually am. The Cowboys was in there, boy. Be worldwide right now.
Boy,
dog.
if the Cowboys in it, dog, it'll be 1995. So check this out, man. Hey, what I'm really waiting on, dog.
Commercials.
Heck no, man. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, and Mary J. Blige, dog.
Man, that's
the halftime.
Hey man, something crazy gonna go down.
What you
I
mean?
predicted, man. Well, you remember when Janet did it? And,
Okay.
That was too much firepower on the stage. You got all that firepower. Something gonna go wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
They got too hyped. This is too much fire. Watch what I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
No.
Something strange gonna happen, man.
Something strange is gonna happen.
Yeah, something strange gonna happen.
Thing
It's gonna be good. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but
Just
something strange is
something-
gonna happen. It's too much firepower on the stage.
I think there's definitely gonna be some kind of meme that comes out of this. You
Yeah.
know this. But listen, when Snoop Dogg does gin and juice, and that must say so much trouble in the LBC, it's kind of hard being Snoop D, a Dub, a G, but somehow, some way. Well, I might faint, dog.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
He gonna pop
At
out
the
too.
Super Bowl?
Yeah,
That's crazy,
yeah,
man.
it's on. And then props to my girl, Mary. I love Mary J.
Mary.
Blige, man. That's my.
What Mary gonna do? No more drama?
I don't know.
Family affair. in this dancery.
Yeah.
She gonna do that.
Yeah, she gonna do something, man, special, man. Make you cry during the Super Bowl.
Please don't do that, Mary.
It's a lot of emotion, man.
Please don't do none of them.
When Mary
songs.
on the stage, it's a lot of emotion.
Please don't do none of them sad songs, man.
But I hear you on all that.
Yeah.
But I still think two things. Something gonna kick off. It's gonna be good, but something gonna kick off.
Mm-hmm.
And number two,
something weird is gonna happen.
Yeah, something strange, but it's gonna be good.
Okay.
And then number two, I get you on Snoop and Mary.
Yeah.
But that dog on Dr. Dre.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of the songs they're gonna do, man. Like between Dre and Snoop,
it's gonna be ever since maybe Prince or MJ,
Beyonce.
Beyonce. This is one of the times where people gonna definitely watch halftime.
Yeah,
I got to see. I can't miss.
I think
halftime.
last year was The Weeknd, so you got to be a The Weeknd fan. Hold on, man.
I ain't even
Showing your age there for a minute.
I don't care, man.
Showing your age.
I had young people with me. They went to the kitchen.
Oh, let me tell you a funny story real quick.
They went to the kitchen during halftime.
Hey, man, you mentioned Magic Johnson earlier. And let me tell you a funny story before we roll out. How about Lil J, my son, and my wife, she picked him up from school. He walks in the house first, right? And he says, "Daddy, I didn't know you met Magic Johnson before." I was like, "Yeah, I have." I forgot. But I was like, "Yeah, I have." And man, he was just tickled by that. He thought that was one of the greatest things he's ever heard.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Magic, man.
Magic, man. Love you. Learned so much from the brother, man. One of the greatest human beings. Me and LG work with Magic now for about 24, 25 years, man. And that's one thing, man. I never thought I would meet Magic Johnson because I went to Chapel Hill with the other MJ.
Yeah.
And I always thought somehow I might end up working with that MJ. But I never dreamed that I would even get an autograph from Magic Johnson. Yeah. And then end up working with him. But one of the nicest, most kind gentlemen you're ever going to meet. Yeah. But really one of the best businessmen, I believe, that has ever lived.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
man. Shout out to Magic, man.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. Hey, man, great night, Jay.
Great show, man.
And you picked, you did say you going with the Rams, right?
Yeah.
You got the Rams too? All right, it's consensus. The Rams, we all be embarrassed. We all be embarrassed when the Bills win 24-3.
Man, Joe Burrow, boy, who knew?
You heard it first here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but man, great night. We had nice vegetables, man. A nice little dessert. Yeah. And a great conversation, man. Always great to be with you, Jay, in the Black Court, my friend. Great show, man. Shout out to LG, man. Yeah. Appreciate you, dog. You got to get on the mic one of these days, man. Yeah, for sure. Everybody know what's up with you. Yes, got to have at least one light-skinned guy on the team, you know what I'm saying? And so we bring LG on this so the ladies can see him on one of the shows. Kind of black court. Yeah, in the light court. All right, we'll see y'all next week. Hey, later on, y'all. Peace now.